Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Schoolboy Roll Up, the
Another
wrestling.
edition.
Another edition. We're just firing out editions, aka weekly. We're a weekly episodic show,
Longest running.
longest running.
Longest running Goldberg and Jeff Cobb focus podcast.
And just so you know, Nick, there is more about Goldberg to discuss.
So how could there not be?
How could there
my
not be,
goodness.
right?
Adam, we didn't know this was going to be a Goldberg podcast when we started it 12
We're like the
episodes ago.
TMZ for Goldberg.
Funny thing is that I did see my mother today, and she asks me right when she sees me, "Who's Goldberg?" I was like, "What do you mean, who's Goldberg?" And she's like, "Who's Goldberg?" And I'm like, "He's a wrestler." And she was like, "I don't know who that is, but what you guys were saying was really funny." So mom is a big listener. Mom loves it.
Good.
So that's good. I just thought
He's a big fan.
I imagined my mom looking at us talking about Goldberg and Nick showing his phone with the tiny sunglasses. Like, my mom watching this. It's just funny. But anyway, social media, find us, Twitter, all that good stuff. Schoolboy Roll Up. Send us questions. We love to answer audience questions.
Carrying Cross follows us. Why don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Get
Nick.
on it. John Cena follows us.
And to that end, I want to say, I got a very funny. Well, not we did on Twitter. We got a very funny DM today. Actually, this is Wednesday night, everybody. By the way, this episode will come out on Thursday. We had a little change in the schedule just for this week, I think. But tonight at 8:44, we received a message in our DMs from WWE Danny Ray. Now, Danny Ray, everybody, was on LFG, and I guess she's now in NXT. And she sent us a very strange message. So I will take this moment to read it to you. My sunshine, I'm so grateful to have a fan as amazing as you. My goal is to shine brighter than all the brightest stars in WWE. And with your support and love, I know I can do it. I'm going to work my hardest, put my heart and soul into every match, show the world what I'm made of. And trust me, baby, when I do finally make it to the main event of WrestleMania, I'll be looking out into that sea of adoring faces in search of you and thinking about your motivating words, my biggest fan. I'll have you in my heart and on my mind with every single move, knowing that you believe in me and want me to succeed as much as I do. I want you right there with me all the way up as my real fan, cheering me on every step of the way. Thank you so much for your love and support. It means the world to me, and more than you could ever know. Now go out there and spread the word, my star. Hashtag Danny Ray is on her way to the top.
Wow. That was weird.
That was very personal.
That's extremely strange, don't you think?
I love how she never once mentioned you, like the name of our show or anything.
And she doesn't even follow us.
No.
So why are we going to do all this for her if she can't even follow us?
Boo, Danny Ray.
We are now booing you, Danny Ray.
Yeah.
You are
Danny
not
Ray. You got heel heat with us.
Social media message.
Nuclear heel heat, white hot nuclear heat. Unless you follow us, and then we'll do whatever you say.
Yeah, step it up, Danny Ray.
Step it up. But
first, then send a pre-made chat GPT, made essay.
That might have been the Twitter grok. Just firing that one out. I just thought that was...
reach out to all wrestling-related accounts.
Yeah, I just thought the timing of that was funny since we were going on, but strange nonetheless.
What do you think about the name Grok for like an AI assistant? Do we like it?
I think it's strange.
I don't like it.
It sounds like an alien. So
yeah,
cool.
It's giving me too much of like a caveman vibe.
Like a lizard type alien is what I'm thinking.
Oh, you're going lizard? Like lizard people?
Yeah,
Reptilians?
Reptilian. Grok is reptilian. Or a caveman.
Danny Ray's a reptilian. That's what we got for Danny Ray right now.
I'm wondering about Danny Ray right now. Like, are we going to see a a message on her Twitter that she was hacked and
No, she's gonna. I bet you in her next match do a roll up because we're the
She got
only
grocked.
podcast she sent that
Imagine.
message to.
Danny Ray, please, if you perform a schoolboy roll up, we will go to the moon for you like you asked, and be those shining sea in the shining sea of stars in the faces that
She
you
could
are.
join the Mount Rushmore that is Genetti.
Jeff Cobb, Bill Goldberg. I feel like
Occasionally Jacob
and
Fatu.
Priest. Yeah, Jacob Fatu.
She's gonna
Yeah.
knock off Fatu and Priest, and we'll put her up there.
Also, guys, I appreciate that you did not call me out. I don't know if you picked up on it. Like I said Mount Rushmore, but I said it definitely like Finn Balor. I was like, Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
It's Mount Rushmore.
I did not hear that, and I cannot wait to go back and listen to it because
Maybe I just wanted it to be a thing.
that you should just start speaking like that all the
Because
time.
I noticed anytime we do the Finn Balor impression, we just say his name. That's it.
Finn Balor.
He can only say his name. He's like the Irish Timmy.
Yeah.
Like,
The Irish
like Finn Balor's promo.
pro. Wow.
He's
The
promo.
promo.
Is there just seltzer over there? Is that we sure that
Yeah,
that's all that is?
Just seltzer. Just seltzer.
Well,
and some-
I think that's a perfect way to get into this. I'm assuming over Memorial Day weekend, more than a couple words were possibly slurred at some point. Did you guys have a good Memorial Day weekend?
Oh man, soccer tournaments, barbecues, hiking. I do it
I
all.
saw Mission Impossible
Nice.
Saturday. It was pretty dope. I would recommend.
Okay.
And
Is
then during said movie, a friend who was going to come visit me said that his daughter broke his wrist and asked if I could go to him.
Ah,
So I had to drive out to Long Island at
damn, dude.
an unplanned.
Did you
Saturday
confirm that the
Memorial Day
wrist
weekend.
was broken?
It was. It
Okay.
was.
Was it popping out of his skin?
But I got into my summertime banger conversation. And to prove my point, we looked up the top 40 songs on Spotify right now at the moment, and they are all songs from last year.
Wow.
Almost every single one. There's
Wow.
maybe one or two songs from the past couple of months, but they're not even in the top 10, you know?
Do you
So-
recall what the top song was by chance?
APT.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Oh.
It's a banger. It's just not a new banger.
No, it's an old banger.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times the summer banger is a song that came out earlier in the year. It's not coming out like right now.
Yeah, I need it to be brand new.
But like last year, didn't we have the Chapel Roan album coming out like right around Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, you think Chapel Roan was like the summertime bangers?
Wasn't it? Everybody was playing that song. Or dude, everywhere.
I feel like the summertime banger last year was Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. And if you
Yeah.
can't get on that, like you just need to join Daisy May, Danny May, Fannie Mae, Finn Balor, and all this.
Or the other song that Tommy Richmond song.
Oh yeah, that's very true. $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, that was out at this point?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Drake Nokia holds down the first part of summer. I think that song. I'm not saying Drake is what Drake was, but he had a good save, and I'm pretty sure that song blew up. I'm pretty sure it's kind of big on the college scene, and trust me, I know what's going on with the college scene. So,
I didn't
Do you?
know. Okay, this
Yeah.
is new.
so I
Right,
think
sorry.
Drake Nokia
College
actually,
correspondent.
yeah. So
He's just reporting in the middle of some random green and, in the quad.
yeah, just
Drake.
playing some disc golf,
There you go.
maybe some hacky sack.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Have you ever?
No. No.
If you had to, would you? I feel like your calves were designed to do some hacky sack. I feel like you could.
They were designed to do something, I'm not sure what yet. Our,
Still figuring it out.
our buddy, Joe L. I don't want to completely name drop him. Would love to say in high school, Brennick, you got cankles. Cankles, you have the best cankles, Brennick. So they were built for something. I just don't know what yet. So
That's right.
Maybe
That's why
like-
that
Maybe that
WrestleMania
could be
video got so
tailgate
many
events.
views
How much
because
can
of
you
your
kick through?
cankles.
there you go. Hashtag cankles, baby. That's taking us to the top, right with Danny Ray.
Yeah. Hashtag Danny Ray got cankles.
She got. I mean, if she does, I don't know. Yeah. Were there any hillbilly spritz consumed this weekend?
No hillbilly spritz. Kept it pretty light. Had a little tequila, some light beers, but no hillbilly spritzes.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
I had a lot of homemade espresso martinis.
Can't
What?
do
Somebody
wrong
just
there.
made a pitcher and just kept going.
Nice.
Shaving chocolate into it. It was so fancy.
And what did you use to shave the chocolate? Like
Zester.
a
It was like a
zester. You
zester.
use a zester. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Dude, that's some fancy stuff right there.
Then I was just sprinkling beans in there. So I was salt baying some straight beans.
There you go.
You got to go with 3 beans, I believe.
No, I was going ground beans. I needed the extra boost.
Yeah.
Nick, AK ground beans.
Ground beans. Nick ground beans.
Bean Bay.
Got them ground beans.
Bean day. Okay. Sounds like
Robert, what about you? What were you getting into? What was mainly?
it was also my wife's birthday this weekend, so we went to a little spot up by you guys called Bar Mutz.
Oh, new
Very-
hotness.
Oh yeah.
New hotness. Very, budding celebrity-ish chef that people can't seem to get enough of.
People love him. People
Yeah.
love him. But I'll tell you, man, he makes some good food. He wasn't there the night we were there, but everything we had was delightful.
Did you pay for, just for all our viewers out there and listeners? You can pay about $10 for a man to take a ball of mozzarella and place it in your mouth. So we need to know, did you do that?
So to answer your question, no, I did not pay for it, but yes, I did it.
You got free birthday cheese?
So I gave, we had decided that Kim was going to do it, and so she did it, and the guy came over, very nice guy, and he was telling her, he gives you the whole rundown when he does it, and then he gave Kim the cheese, and then he looked at me and he said, you're not getting out of this without doing it. So I did the cheese as well, and he put it right in my mouth.
Wow. So you had the full experience. You saw a man make cheese tableside.
Right in
Before
front of
you
my
feed it to
face.
you.
He looked you right in the eyes and was like, Finn Balor, and then just dropped it in.
He had a very he said Finn Balor, and he said to Kim, you don't have to call me tomorrow. And then he looked at me and he said, but you do.
Oh, wow. So he's like leaning into how weird the whole thing is.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was a very nice guy. And but yeah, great spot. I would love to go back. Good food.
Okay.
Very good.
What would you say was the winner of the night?
The tortelli
Dave.
with
Rob
the short
listens
rib,
when I give recommendations on
the
dishes.
short rib ragu, I think, was the hit. Yeah.
That short rib ragu?
Yeah. That was definitely my fave. And the mozzarella sticks were awesome. I know it sounds stupid to say that, but
Nah, they're putting hot honey on those bad boys.
put hot honey. I mean, they were delicious. So
Oh, is hot honey overrated?
No. It's beyond played out at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or is
it's
it
done
is it
about-
properly rated? I feel
they're
like it's
about to do
over.
a collab with me. That's how washed hot honey is.
wait, what'd you say, Nick?
They're gonna do like a Nick collab. Just gonna just give me some free hot honey.
Wait, that's
my-
what we should be looking for, like a
put my
schoolboy
face on
roll
the bottle.
of honey.
Schoolboy roll up times Mike's hot honey.
times.
That's how you get a good collab going. You need the time sign.
Nick, you're doing it again. The hot schoolboy roll up. Did you say it, Nick? The
See what?
bubbles? The bubbles
Oh,
came up again?
I was thinking about hot honey, baby.
That's why it's so funny. Yeah. So good times had by all this weekend. Didn't feel like Memorial Day weekend. I don't know
No,
about
because it
you
was
guys,
freezing.
but
Yeah.
the weather was not cooperating here in Northeast
I
where we are.
think that's part of Memorial Day weekend, though. I don't think Memorial Day weekend most years. I'm always picturing this is that everyone's like, it's not summer yet. It's a wash. It's cold. There's
Yeah.
too much
Yeah.
rain.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when we were doing shore houses and everything. Were we just too far gone to realize that it wasn't hot out? Like,
I remember years just being outside in a hoodie and being,
yeah,
just why are we at the beach?
We played through the
Yeah.
pain.
We played through the pain. That's right, and still took family portraits.
I do know.
But
Speaking of family portraits,
oh,
I think you have one, don't you?
Nick,
our-
I love you. Good
Our favorite
segue there.
family.
So let's start this so-called wrestling podcast off. I'll get to the Knicks later. Nobody even wants to hear me talk about them anyway.
It's sad at this point, Rob.
It is. But I'm going to show this picture. Thank you to Kyle. Kyle again. Kyle drops the heat to us. That sounds funny. But he's always I'm just trying to say he always gives us something good on Twitter. And this is what we got.
Yeah.
Gage Goldberg now has the same tattoo as his father.
Wow. Boy could definitely fit in a car seat is the first thing I think when I see that.
He can totally fit in a car seat, right?
Yeah, you just
Goldberg-
adjust it. They're adjustable.
Goldberg looks so proud. It's not even funny.
You know what he's thinking as he's looking at him? I need you to watch me wrestle.
He's
like, now
thinking,
that you have this tattoo.
this guy needs to see my last match at all costs.
For sure. And like you can tell, Gage is trying to have the stare down, but he can't have the stare down with Bill Goldberg. He's smiling.
Or are they promoting that the match is Gage versus Bill?
Oh.
Wow, like a Dominic Mysterio thing.
Wow.
And it
Gage
turns out his
versus
real
Bill.
dad is Gunther.
Okay. I love this comment. As a father, I could say with 100% certainty that I would have absolutely talked my son out of doing this. Oh man.
Oh man, Kyle definitely dropped some heat.
He definitely Kyle, I didn't mean it like that, sorry. He will get on me for that, so and rightfully so. Anyway. So Goldberg, you made it into another show, and quite frankly, we're happy that you did. We like having you on.
It's the newest Goldberg streak.
There you go. That's a good. How long can we keep it? Can we get to 173?
We get to 173. Goldberg's definitely getting tasered.
We're bringing Scott Hall back just for it.
We got the cattle prod.
The cattle prod. The funniest is just remember him actually Goldberg just selling the hell out of it because it probably did hurt like hell. Right? But out of curiosity, Goldberg's 173-0 streak.
Uh-huh.
How many matches do you actually think were involved in that? It couldn't have been 173. There's no.
How could it not be, man? Most of them were squashes. The guy didn't have to do anything.
But how many weeks of TV is that?
It was a little over a year.
So and he wasn't on twice every single week.
Well, it started around September of 97, and that went to about December 98. And you have to remember, house shows were a thing.
They had to,
there's
like
just
said,
I don't know,
had
dude.
to be some off TV matches.
We're talking 52 weeks in a year, so that's 104 that were televised at the most. include pay-per-views. Maybe it's 110 at most. So that means you're telling me there were 63 house shows? I don't know. I find it hard to believe.
Hulk
House
Hogan
shows
once
used to be
wrestled
like a
700
common
times
thing.
in 1 year, so.
I know they used to be, but I don't even think they were that common for WCW. That's why all those guys went there, because it was less dates.
Let's see. So you were probably getting Goldberg twice a week. Yeah, there's some house shows in there.
I think it's
Are
funny
you
numbers.
saying that a wrestling company could fudge the numbers?
I'm saying that. I
Wow.
know it's hard to fathom, but I'm saying
That's-
it.
Rob wants to audit the Goldberg streak in
I do.
2025.
I just that's a way to get him on. He'll come on to combat our disbelief.
Our doubt.
Yeah, our doubt and disbelief.
If he comes on, we should all get Goldberg tattoos as well.
Yeah.
And then we could all be staring at him
On the face.
Yeah,
with the glasses.
Tyson style. With the
We
glasses.
all got the tattoos
Oh my god.
and the Goldberg shades.
The shades are just. I watched that back several times and could not stop laughing. I hope everybody else thought it was funny too, but
I mean,
damn.
strong enough to shoot a contact right out of my eye.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really, dude, you are hurting there.
I mean, I think this is just a common occurrence. Is that I have an off switch and I'm going burning the midnight oil to be here, but I do it for all the heat that gets dropped by our followers.
Oh my god. Oh man. Bringing the fire. I guess there's so many better things I could have said in the moment, but
That's a lot. But,
it was just
He's bringing the fire.
bringing the fire. I think everything should just be in Balor voice. If we
I
can.
don't know if I don't feel like I'd have the ability to say multiple sentences or even more than about 4 words in that voice.
It then just gets to be like jumbled nonsense.
Yeah, it's just like mush mouth.
Drew.
Drew.
Drew, make it
Nobody
Drew.
does it Drew better than Nick. Let me tell you. Nobody. And I guess that's a good. I guess we're not going to be seeing Drew McIntyre for a while. Drew for a while.
He needs a break.
Yeah.
Coming back better.
Coming back, but
Give Drew the break for a little bit.
Yeah, dude, he's been put in these crazy feuds, crazy matches.
arguably
Injured or
WWE's
not.
MVP last year.
Yeah, and he
Right.
was So injured or not, give the guy a rest.
I was still low key hoping that he was going to be the third member of the faction that has no name that includes Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman,
And
but it turned into Bronson Reed,
And I was
who
very
Greg
wrong about
he
that.
called
because I
it for a
said,
long
look
time.
at
I'm
me
still not
saying,
sure.
Bronson Reed
we can
doesn't
go
make
back on
sense.
these
There's no
episodes.
way
I
it's
think
him.
I
So
think we
stupid.
said this a little bit after Mania because we were talking about people having to eat pins.
Yep, we needed somebody to eat a pin.
And they explored it a little bit. I like that they didn't ignore the fact that this guy wrecked Seth Rollins less than a year ago. I think that was a good thing to lean into is like, hey, this guy did so much damage to the leader of our group, and now he's on our side.
Shows you how much we care.
I think they could have also had Seth lean into that a little bit more. Like, I think he should have been the one to kind of play that up. Like, this guy took me out. Imagine now that he's got my back, what we could do.
Yeah.
But I
that's true.
did like that they didn't just ignore it and they had some continuity there.
I guess that's an easy way to eventually, when they want to disband the group, to just have the Seth Bronson Reed feud continue by like, I never forgot that you beat the crap out of me, whatever.
You don't think they'll do the Bronson versus Braun?
Braun?
Yeah.
It could happen. It's which Braun, what side is Braun Breaker going to take will be the big
I don't know.
storyline.
Out of this group, I mean, he would probably be the first to turn face of the three of them, I think.
For sure. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I was going to say this when they eventually disband. I'd imagine that you're looking at Bronn being your face, and then Seth and Bronson, kind of almost like an evolution situation here. Like everybody's with Seth. Bronn's going to be the one that breaks out of this, right? Oh, Bronn breaks out of it.
Wow, dude. You are a wordsmith.
Maybe
a
that's why they
linguist.
named him Bronn Breaker all those years ago.
Do you think there's a chance that LeBron James becomes part of this group?
I don't, but
Okay.
I think we lean into the celebrities. And what if Travis Scott's just like, you know what? I want to mosey over to this group now for a little bit. Like, just same thing. Whenever Travis Scott wants, he's just going to help out your top heels. Comes out with
That's
this
perfect.
Cactus Jack belt.
It's almost like an R-Truth type scenario. Like he doesn't know who he's helping. He just helps bad guys because he's confused.
He's just smoking and sage in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
You
man.
know, popping an eardrum.
Just looking at him like, what are you doing?
Put him in Judgment Day.
Just, do you also think that if LeBron James does become part of this, that Bronny becomes part of it, and like Goldberg wants to have Gage watch his last match, LeBron wants his son Bronny to watch his first match?
So is Bronny team up with Bron Breaker and LeBron gets Bronson? Bronson and LeBron?
I think that's the only way you could go.
Yeah.
Are we building to a Bronny and LeBron tag match against Goldberg and Gage? SummerSlam?
Don't tempt me.
I would just want to see Goldberg destroy LeBron with a spear. Just like completely destroy him. That would be funny.
LeBron would no sell everything.
Oh, he would completely no sell. Completely. He'd get his stuff in. That's what he would be doing.
Which his finisher would just be to like dunk.
Somehow
he would dunk.
And he used to have that thing where he would step and go like this. He could just be doing that.
That's a solidified taunt.
This idea just reminds me of when back in AEW they had Jade Cargill, our girl Jade Cargill, randomly debut in a tag match with Shaq.
Oh, that's right, dude. That's right.
No idea about that.
Yeah. And Cody definitely crossbodies Shaq, who then falls through a table. Why was Shaq even in a match?
I thought Shaq was also going to fight Paul White in AEW at one point too. Wasn't he supposed to or something like that? And I don't think
that was supposed to, I think, happened like 15 years ago, and then AEW's like, we're fine, we're going to be the ones to do it because they didn't capitalize on it in like 2010.
Yeah, they were the originals with like the randomly placed pasta table, just ready to go through. It's just Shaq instead of Damian Priest. But
so, Rob, how are you feeling about the new group? Do we like the addition of Bronson Reed?
I think it's a good addition. Part of me wonders. I think you both might just go like, "Oh no, what are you talking about?" But part of me wonders if there's not enough star power here. I know Seth is the boat that's going to rise. You know, the tide that rises all boat, whatever that line is. Seth's that guy.
I think it's the boat that drops the heat.
I think you're right. I think it is
something like that. He's the boat that drops
the heat, rises all tides.
Seth Rollins is the boat that drops the heat, and Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are going to take that heat in, and they're just gonna
I guess that's kind of the idea, but I don't disagree with your sentiment that
Oh,
they're maybe missing something, but there's enough. It's not overwhelming. You
I'm not
know,
overwhelmed by it.
there's one top guy, not
Yeah,
multiple. So
and I know we're Breaker's heading in that direction. I hate calling him Braun
yeah, but
Breaker.
the way
Like,
they're
can we
You
call
using
him
think
him,
that
Stunner?
Bronn and Bronson will tag team together to be called Bron Breakerson?
I think that's possible. With the way that just Braun Breaker is a name, anything is possible. So Braun Breakerson is probably right there.
Is it Bron Breakerson Reed or just Bron Breakerson?
No, it's just Braun Breakerson.
I think
Like,
it's Bron Breakerson because it very much sounds like one person.
it's like some middle manager.
Yeah,
Braun Breakerson.
yeah.
You gotta
Bron
go
Breakerson.
Breakerson for authority for this. You know.
Bron Breakerson, assistant manager, Ohio Valley. Yeah, just like oversees a region, some kind of region, any region.
Any region
Bron
of,
Breakerson.
of car parts. So yeah, I mean, basically based on that, this I don't know, because those guys are going to tag. Like at some point, they're going to be tag champions. Like that's where that's going. Um, it just doesn't hit with me.
but Bronson Reed could destroy anyone, right? So
Easily.
it gives the faction a lot of punching power, but not it. It's not overwhelming. You're riding on Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins
For sure.
and if you let Bron Breaker talk, I mean, the people love him. They want to hear more from him. So we'll see how he gets utilized,
Right.
kind of going forward.
I mean, you still can't get away from the crowd doing the barks, like it's which is not heel stuff. So
there's still people are still confused
yes,
if they want to cheer for them or not. It's kind of the
Yeah,
best part of
even
the whole thing for
Seth
me.
Rollins' music is going to elicit
yep,
pretty big reaction, and the fact that he stops at his name Seth so that they could shout "freaking Rollins." He's got
right.
some face things in there still.
I'd like to see a little more heat.
Maybe we're just dealing with shades of gray these days.
Oh, shades of heat.
Shades
Dropped.
of heat.
So yeah, that's my thoughts of this group that has no name. Do you guys think we get a name before Money in the Bank? Which is next weekend, by the way. I got my dates
They
right here
can't
for
wait
once.
much longer. It kind of is weird not having one. They can only workshop the ideas for so long. So now, if this is the group, you got all the people, just give it a name. It needs a name.
Bron freaking Breakerson.
He that's I mean, AEW practically has, I was going to say the Sons of Braun, and not remembering that AEW has a tag team actually called the Sons of Texas. So
They do have that.
which I feel like is Nick saying workshop in here. Like we got to workshop harder.
Like that's such a bad tag team in my mind. Like
Yeah, they don't fit
two
together.
decent guys, but they shouldn't be together. Like this is all we could come up with.
Right. And because Sammy Guevara, and Nick, in case you didn't know, it's Sammy Guevara and
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes. Look at that. You're right on the ball there.
I saw those Double or Nothing clips.
Okay. And I guess it's because Sammy and Cody are friends that he is now teaming with Dustin. So, I don't know. Whatever.
It's random, and the name sucks.
It's right. Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know. What are you going to do, huh? Well, you know what? I'll stick with AEW since we're there. Double or Nothing was this past weekend. It ended close to 1 o'clock in the morning, which I thought was kind of ballsy. But anyway, do we care about Double or Nothing? What happened at all? Anywhere?
Look, if WWE has fumbled even the slightest bit with the poorly received main event of this most recent WrestleMania. This is AEW kind of coming back a little bit. It's a well received pay per view, and from what I can tell, the thing that's most important, at least for them, is the talent are into it. Like they feel like the presentation was stepped up, and it's the first time in a while coming out of when people are talking about that a pay per view of theirs before and after it happened, all positively. So it's a good thing.
I mean, there was a part in Anarchy in the Arena where they're just blasting music mid-match. I think they're just leaning into what works for them. Obviously, they have many things that don't work for them, but they know certain things that do, and they'll lean far into that. I think it's the right man, I think the right man won that main event with all in Texas. It makes sense that you're going to go with Hangman Adam Page over in that character over Will Ospreay. Save Will Ospreay's moment for maybe a month later at Forbidden Door at the O2 Arena.
I was just gonna say that's in London, right? So
Yep.
that might be a good spot. Seemed like like Nick said, it was a very well received pay per view, and there was not even a championship match involved. So maybe that's why it was. I mean, a men's world title championship match. But maybe that's why it was so well received, because people just seem to hate Moxley with the title right now. So
Now, admittedly so, don't watch a ton of it anymore. But Mercedes Moné does not, to me at this point, she's way past her prime.
talk about like a square peg in a round hole, right?
I might be wrong on it. I feel like she lacks, at this point, creativity. It just seems like old shtick at this point. I'm not that excited to see her face timeless Tony Storm, but at the same point, she is your biggest. Those are your two biggest stars in the women's division. Makes sense that would be your headlining women's match going into All in Texas.
Makes sense. They can't do Mariah May versus Tony Storm anymore because they did it so many times and all of them so well received. So this was the logical next step for Tony Storm, and I think I don't think Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her, the boss, has really even come close to hitting in AEW.
No,
There's
to me,
something.
it feels like she peaked once she came up from NXT in those first 2 years. But after 2017, she was really an afterthought. And even though she got to main event with Bianca Belair, and I thought that was a great main event, I feel like she only came up again for a moment. I'm glad she got to do that, but really, I think her buzz and her hype kind of died off almost a decade ago.
You in the same boat there, Nick?
Flat. The whole thing's flat. You see her on the screen, and it just there's nothing there. And I wasn't around watching when she was at the top of the card in WWE or whatever. So there's nothing there for me. So,
but at the same point, who else would you be pushing right now, right?
No, there is. Yeah. You're right.
Who are we going with? Athena at this point?
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, it's not. They don't have it right now. That division just still lacks at this point. Timeless Tony Storm. I mean, I think Tony's done an awesome job with that character. Stand out. I'd say her and Swerve Strickland have built great characters while there. But Mercedes Moné to me just seems like 2015 Sasha Banks running on fumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely not much there. And with the way she left WWE too, who knows what stories are true about her and Bayley, whining, laying on the floor, complaining because they were going to drop the titles or something. You remember this story?
Well, that was the first time. It happened two times because she wound up finally leaving with Naomi in, what was that, 2022? Right.
Right. So,
Okay.
she left poorly, and then she went to AEW, and she hasn't really hit there, and she probably still considers herself to be a major star.
I mean, never say never, Rob. That's what they always tell us.
That's what they tell us. We still never saw that horsewoman match, so
Never say never. But you're saying it in that phrase.
Twice.
Pretty stupid if you ask me.
Never say never, Bronn Breakerson.
Bron Breaker, Sons of Texas.
But you gotta say it like Finn Balor.
Bron Breakerson of Texas.
Sons of Texas. That's terrible.
Can't do this even a little bit. That was
horrific.
Too good.
Finn, we don't know how you do it, Finn.
But it was just too sweet.
There you go. I still wish, and we've mentioned this before, especially me, because I'm a slut for all this. Anything NWO or Bullet Club related. I wish we could somehow get like Finn Balor and AJ Styles running some sort of stable in WWE, like together. Like, why can't we just lean into it slightly?
Because we're not in AEW. We're doing our own thing.
We have a group that is supposed to be the top group in WWE right now, and it doesn't even have a name. So, like, they're kind of trending towards AEW style stuff.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It just annoys me. I want to mention this because I think it's funny, and since we're talking about AEW, I want to throw it out there. So, Big Sexy Kevin Nash on his Click This podcast had a very funny jumbled statement that related to Tony Khan, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Let's go.
So Kevin said, number one, he's talking about Tony Khan, autistic. Man, you got to give the guy a little bit of slack. I mean, I'm serious, man. F it. I had an autistic kid. At what point of the spectrum is he on? Like, I've never sat down and had a conversation with the guy, Nash said. Javon Evans, effing Ricochet is making a lot more effing money than your effing none. Does this guy even work? Mr. Evans, I don't know who you are. So until you effing get on the radar, maybe just shut the F up. What? How did this all like come in the same sentence? Yeah. In the same thought?
So he's matter of factly just like saying Tony Khan is on the spectrum, and we're all just supposed to like let him get away with that one.
I guess.
Be like, cut him some slack, man. This guy's, got a whole situation.
Is he saying that he can also get away with it because he had an autistic son?
Yes, he definitely is.
He's like, hey, I could call anyone autistic because I had an autistic son.
Mm-hmm. Also had, like, past tense?
Yes,
yes, unfortunately.
Son anymore? What happened?
No, unfortunately, our rest in peace, Kevin Nash's son did pass.
No idea.
I think it was a year or two ago. I think it was, and unfortunately, it was right after Scott Hall had passed too. So Big Sexy went through a tough time.
Jesus.
Yeah, but so I guess having an autistic son just gave him the power to diagnose Tony Khan as well.
But also, he goes away from that thought and then just starts talking about Javon Evans.
Exactly, like it's amazing.
Yeah, he really just rolls right into it. He's like,
it makes no sense.
Well,
and he's got Ricochet the money. He's like, what if we? Who come up by for all intents and purposes, Ricochet has been just.
He's been honestly, like unintentionally hysterical, right?
Yeah.
He lacks the self-awareness. I think him and his wife are like a little out there right now in terms of.
Well, I think he finally became aware. I think that's what the character is at this point. Him just leaning into.
Yeah, being kind of a psycho.
Nick, now you say his wife, and for anybody that does not know, his wife is former WWE ring announcer Samantha Irvin. Why do you mention her in this as well?
Samantha Irvin.
I feel like she's on Twitter talking about the haters too. They
Oh,
they
okay.
apparently have more haters than anyone.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
apparently. And
Yeah.
who is hating on Samantha Irvin?
Exactly. She was the most beloved, like,
Yeah,
non-wrestler
Yeah, but
in
I
the
feel like
company.
once she left, everyone was like, "Oh, I can't believe she left."
yeah. I did see something funny on Twitter where like I guess for her like she came out with a an album musically, and she was playing the flute.
I feel like I may have heard about this as well, and people
Yeah,
were like, "The pitch is off."
yeah.
Like I think people were just hating to hate.
There's nothing better than wrestling fans getting on somebody who's playing the flute. Like,
Yeah, but hold on, Rob. This is a full-blown music video where she's being just a complete vixen, and then like towards the end of the music video, with like her ass out in one of her outfits, she just starts playing the flute.
I'm so
It's
glad you knew
ridiculous.
this, Nick. And
Yeah,
bro, I'm so glad you knew this. That's
yeah.
amazing.
By the way, Nick has missed a few things here and there, but Nick will not miss the creepy nugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the creepy nugs are always
She's here being a vixen,
being a vixen with her ass out.
Yeah, I don't know
and
how
then
to
she
describe it,
starts
dude.
playing the flute.
And
It's a very,
yeah, no,
scantily
I know
clad
what you're
video,
saying. Yeah.
and there's some
So,
flute playing in it. It's absurd.
so basically, you're not allowed to make fun of that. So now Samantha Irvin is hating on you now.
Oh, me?
Yeah, because now we're making fun of it, all three of us.
Oh, I
Do you
mean,
think
we're all.
Samantha Irvin might form an alliance with Danny May?
That's do
What's
you
her name?
what the, who?
With the
Mariah
tweet?
May.
What is it?
Mariah May?
No, the
Oh, Danny Ray. Sorry,
Danny Ray. There we go.
you're right. Yes, they're
They're
gonna
gonna
have
form
a
an alliance
tag team
against
for
us.
sure. Yeah, they'll
Kevin
both.
Nash is also very money focused.
He always is.
Yeah.
That's what. Anytime you hear him talk, he does
He's
a
like
drive and money.
He's like the Iron Sheik.
Yeah,
Wants some money.
I love. I mean, personally, I love Kevin Nash's takes on wrestling. I think they're usually pretty astute, but he does say ridiculous things like this sometimes. I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude?
Where it just
Like, I
goes
love
on a
just
little bit of a
diagnosing
rant.
Tony Khan as autistic. Just great. Just good stuff right there.
And the best part about him being the person he just can get away with it regardless of
Well,
Easily.
for like 40,000, you could hear these in person if you get
Yeah.
that VIP package to
it's
SummerSlam.
Yeah, there
only
you go.
the highest tier packages guarantee you get to meet Kevin Nash.
That's for 40 grand though. Was
No,
it
that well,
actually
that's if you sit. That's where you get sit in the front row for Raw, SmackDown, and both nights of SummerSlam.
wow.
Yeah.
What if we have something similar and have Kevin Nash just show up at Schoolboy Roll Up live at MetLife Stadium?
That's it. And we charge everyone only 30,000.
30,000.
Right. A little arbitrage.
Yeah,
And it could be split amongst, a group of people. We'll accept that.
we're like undercutters from
Yeah.
Tom Green.
Yeah, and Kevin Nash will call you autistic and give you a big boot.
Yeah. Dude, I would totally take a jackknife through a table from Big Sexy Daddy Cool. Come on.
All right, so guys,
Here we go.
terrible news. Terrible news. You can continue this in a moment because Greg cannot find his charger because the kids are borrowing it. I'm at a solid 1%
Oh,
left on
dude.
this recording. So if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out in style. Guys, here's my impression if Finn Balor runs into Samantha Irvin when she's playing.
I
when
love
she's
that you're just
playing
going
the
to cut
flute.
off out of nowhere.
Yeah. Samantha Irvin.
Oh, it started.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. He sees her and he says her name.
Samantha Irvin. Play a hell of a flute.
Oh, hi, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. And that's it.
What a
Wow.
amazing exit
So-
for Greg.
So 15 episodes in, Nick, and this is the first time that somebody has
Had technical difficulties with
and
the battery
with their battery.
that they can't recover from.
Do you think there's any chance that he's coming back?
No, that was if I got that sign off, I wouldn't come back.
That's true. I mean, you could gyrate out, but
Yeah, right.
like
I could just gyrate and
you
then my
could.
screen goes black. That would be like,
That's like the ultimate.
and then it's just you.
This I'm just like, oh, okay. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash talking about autistic people, and we got people just gyrating to black screens and going. Do you want to cover anything else?
Not really. I mean, I don't want to make a Money in the Bank prediction. I don't even know who all the people in the matches are.
So let me ask you this then. At least we got 4 people in both right now.
Yeah.
The women's one so far, we have Alexa Bliss, Julia, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez. Who do you think the other 2 are?
Who's not in that yet?
Becky Lynch is not, but I'm assuming she will not.
No,
be.
because she's doing a feud with Lyra. So, I mean, you could still get Bailey in there.
Bianca, maybe a surprise entrant.
Yeah, I don't know. Why has Bianca been gone since Mania? Honestly,
Not since Mania, and so is Jade Cargill, pretty much. So, but she's hurt, right? Isn't she hurt?
Jade Cargill's hurt
I
again.
think she's hurt, or maybe I'm just confusing it with before. But I haven't seen her in a while. Have you?
No. So, all right, those are your options, though, right?
Yeah.
Getting some more top people in there because they already got 2 brand new people in there,
right?
And there's no Charlotte, so
any chance Stephanie Vacker is in there?
She did just drop the title,
so it is possible.
So maybe, but I mean, wow, that would be.
What are your What are your thoughts about Julia and Stephanie Vacker so far?
Not talking about Roxanne.
No.
Well, no. Look, because we've seen a lot more.
They're both pretty new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've seen a lot more of Roxanne actually.
Yeah.
On the roster. I need to see more from Julia, but I mean, Stephanie Vaquer
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's definitely top star material.
Yeah,
and Julia could be good too. We just need to see a little more from her. I just haven't caught as many of her matches.
I feel like Julia, they both look the part. Like they both are. They definitely stand out.
They're not going to put you in one of the biggest matches of the year right away,
right?
For no reason. Like this could be really good. With this lineup though, you kind of want to see Rhea get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. So I feel like Money in the Bank doesn't work as well on faces. It's kind of better when a heel has it.
It's totally agree about that. And I guess on the men's side, we have Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, and Solo Sikoa.
We've got to get dude. The pop for Karrion Kross to come and do his 1-minute bit was wild this week.
Yes, it was.
Sammy saw him in the back. It was like he was one of the top guys. The crowd popped pretty loud. So get him in this match. I don't think this is a tough. I don't like because LA Knight doesn't really have the juice right now. You know,
he doesn't.
Seth makes the most sense, and also because he's one of the most epic holders of the briefcase of all time. So yeah, Seth and Solo.
Who do you think are the other 2 people in the match, though?
That's just a little tougher.
It's hard. It's hard to say. I feel like
are they going to throw Big Jim in there? Like,
I feel like you got to have one of either AJ Styles or Finn Balor in there, right? Like,
did Finn Balor already have his qualifier with Seth though? The qualifier was
yes. Yeah. So maybe AJ. I don't know. And I don't think either one of those guys would have won, but they make the match good. So
yeah, AJ and Karrion. I mean,
Kross. So Kross has got to be in it. He just has to be.
Right. He's an outlier that's not involved. He's involved in every storyline and no storylines right now.
Yeah.
And he makes sense. So get him in there. get it while it's hot. He doesn't need to win to
No.
get more over. He just has to come close and you see how the crowd reacts.
Give him the LA Knight treatment from a couple years ago and have him like
Absolutely.
touching the briefcase, but then ultimate heel. I don't know.
But also, he's so manipulative and sneaky right now. He makes a lot of sense holding the briefcase.
He does. He makes a lot. It makes
more than, and it's a shame because like Penta's just getting thrown at everything, and he's so amazing. But
He's
you're like,
so
there's
good.
no way he's winning because he's just gonna go do lucha stuff.
He's got it right. And I love when he comes out and he's like doing that.
Doing the La Parka. It's kind of the La
yeah.
Parka, but not exactly the same.
Chairman of the board.
Yeah.
Love La Parka. Classic. All right. I do want to, before we leave, because next week we'll have a full Money in the Bank preview and all that stuff. But before we leave, I do want to get your take on, because I know you were watching it. Trick Williams winning the TNA title.
That was a good NXT pay-per-view. I don't know what made me decide to fast forward through it, but I watched a little bit of almost everything. And Truck, it's great that they did it. It shows how much faith they have in Trick Williams. And it makes this crossover mean something now that the title has actually changed hands between companies, let alone the top title.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with it if he winds up appearing on TNA television with it.
He's got to, right?
Right.
I mean, he has to.
And he can fight Nick Nemeth.
Somehow WWE would just job the hell out of him anyway. Still,
right.
Poor Dolph.
Yeah,
but I thought that was really cool too. Trick Williams has been awesome for a while, so he's earned this title, and they didn't have to give him the NXT title. They were able to give him, the TNA title, and
he gets to make a little bit of history, right? He's the first guy in the crossover to snag a belt, and it's so we'll see what they do with it. And I did randomly see, and I don't know if it was a real video or not, but he did like a diss track on Joe Hendry.
Did he?
I didn't lose to no average Joe. There's like a lot of Joe Hendry lookalikes in the video.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Joe Hendry now ends up in WWE, right? Since he dropped the title.
I mean, he can at any moment.
Yeah,
he can at any moment. He was on the two of the biggest shows of the year last year, and he has a following. Oh, and we never mentioned this. I wish Greg had talked about this.
What's that?
He's like Joe Hendry is like over with kids.
Oh,
kids
right.
Who may or may not watch wrestling because he is a viral entity.
Right.
He's
Which
over
is amazing.
with kids.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Greg had his kids had friends over and they made like the Joe Hendry zone or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's something there.
Right.
If he can sell merch to kids, forget it. He's going to be on your TV pretty soon. On WWE proper television.
For sure. And just remembering the zoom in at WrestleMania and Randy Orton just RKOing him during the zoom in is just that was just pure awesomeness. So anyway, all right. Well, if you don't got anything, Nick, I think we'll wrap up.
No, we're good. I got called the creep, so it was a great episode.
It was worth it. And we got Goldberg in there, and
Goldberg, no Cobb, but Samantha Elgin.
And there was a Drew, so we're all good here. Yeah, we'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye.